Welcome to London High School and the J.J. Hartley Athletic Complex. We are here tonight to recognize a number of people that have helped in this next step in the entire complex process, and also to recognize the man tonight for whom this field is dedicated. From a construction standpoint, the Field of Dreams is no longer a dream. It has become reality. We built it, and you have come. However, this Field of Dreams has truly entered its most important and permanent phase. We now have the young men and the young women who will use this outstanding facility to pursue their dreams and visions. 9 years ago, this athletic complex was basically a vacant lot. What has transpired here borders on the impossible, if not the improbable. The list of persons and organizations that have contributed money, time, and effort is enormous and without end. Every contribution, large and small, has made a significant impact on the development of what has come to fruition here. Many of these contributors are visible, while many others are not visible. All, and I stress all, were critical to the entire process. We ask your support in the care and maintenance of these facilities, but more importantly, we ask your support for the youth who will use and benefit from these first-class facilities. Teamwork is the fuel that allows common people to produce uncommon results. And now to introduce some of our dignitaries and some of our other honorees and contributors. First of all, members of the London City Board of Education. Mr. Ted Clemens, Mr. Roy Brown, newest member, Mr. Rick Parsons, longtime member, Mr. James Gallagher, and President of the London School Board, Mr. Marvin Peterson. Since this was a joint venture between the London City Schools and the City of London, we want to introduce several of our representatives from the City of London. First, President of the London City Council, Mr. Jim Slagle. Safety Service Director, Mr. Steve Hume. And the Mayor of the City of London, Mr. David Eads. Now, the members of the group that has put this together donated so many hours of time and effort to help this place be built. The Board of Trustees of the J.J. Hartley Athletic Complex. First, the President, already here on the field, Mr. Ted Clemens. The Vice President, Mrs. Bonnie Hamilton. The man that crunches all the numbers, the Treasurer, Mr. Paul Fetro. The Secretary, Mr. Glenn Wilt. And the Site Manager, Mr. Dan Eads. Other members of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Steve Adams. Mrs. Russ Ann Dillard. Mr. T.J. Dwyer. Dr. Jacob Froning. Mr. Jeff Stanforth. And several original members of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Ted Slanker. While Mr. Slanker is a past member of the board, obviously it was his vision that got this ball rolling 9 years ago. Thank you, Ted. Mr. Jim Roddy, former Board of Trustees member. Mr. Gary McNeil. And Mr. Kevin Weiss. Past and present members of the J.J. Hartley Athletic Complex Board of Trustees. As mentioned previously, to recognize everybody that has given to this complex would be almost an impossible task. But we have some representatives here tonight, and we want to introduce them and allow them to represent all of the people that have donated time, effort, and money to make this dream become reality. First, from the Church and Dwight Company, Mr. David Jones. Representing Stanley Electric, without whom we would not be able to play at night, Mr. Dave Such and Mr. Mark Cowan. This company's donation you don't see because it's all underground, but if it rains hard, it's very, very valuable to us. From ADS Drainage Systems, Mr. Blair Gresson. From Hostetler Excavating Company, Mr. Bill Hostetler. Already here as a member of the Board of Trustees from Dwyer Hardware, Mr. T.J. Dwyer. Representing Huntington Bank, Mr. Brian Ball. Representing First Merit Bank, Mr. Tom Cox and Mrs. Ruth Brown. Representing Citizens Bank, Mr. Jeff Bodle. Representing BST Company, Mr. Jerry Alcott. Representing Coughlin Automotive, Mr. Tom Coughlin. Representing Wheeler Enterprises, Mr. Larry Wheeler. Representing the London Athletic Boosters, the President, Mr. Darrell Eads. Representing Creamer Metal Products, Mrs. Karen Peters. And representing Main Street Photography, taking everyone's picture, Mr. Larry Peters. Although she's not out here because she's busy working in the concession stand, representing the London Music Boosters, Mrs. Dana Topper. Representing London Kiwanis Club, the President, Mrs. Jean Gaston. And representing the London Rotary Club, Mr. Elmer Olson. And representing Ohio Edison Company, Mr. Kirk Gardner. Last but definitely not least, the man who many years ago laid out this facility in a blueprint, and for many years that's all it was a blueprint, but now it's come to reality. The engineer, Mr. Neil Babb. Now, on behalf of all the contributors, Board of Trustees, the Board of Education, a few words from the Secretary of the Board of Trustees, Mr. Glenn Wilk.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of the Board of Trustees of the J.J. Hartley Athletic Complex, we welcome you to this dedication ceremony and to this first ever football game, official football game, played on Jim Bowles Field, the hub of the Field of Dreams. We'd like to take this opportunity, though, to recognize those folks that played an integral part in us being able to be here this evening. To Neil Babb, Ted Slanker, Danny Eads, and Jake Brody, you've been involved in this project for a very long time. Your commitment and dedication throughout has been well above what anyone could ever imagine. We thank you. We couldn't have done it without you. Ted, I believe this was your dream, and you probably never realized that this many people would have been part of it. To our corporate and business community who has provided the basic financial support, whether that be in the form of a financial commitment, product or service, we thank you. We couldn't have done it without you. Without your support, this dream could have easily become a nightmare. To all of you who have supported our fundraising activities and hopefully will continue to do, whether that be to purchase a brick, buy raffle tickets, make a donation, or support our Monday night bingo games, we thank you. We couldn't have done it without you. To anyone who has touched this project, whether it be with a hammer, a shovel, or a rake, we thank you. We couldn't have done it without you. We have built a first-class athletic facility here at London High School, which in itself should enable our young people to realize their dreams of success in whatever sport they choose. Now, this dream is not complete. We still have tennis courts to finish at the south end of the stadium. We have a reserve baseball diamond that needs to be completed in the northeast quadrant of the complex. We still need your support. If you are interested in becoming a part of this, including serving on this Board of Trustees, please see any one of us. I'm sure we can find you something to do. Now, as far as getting involved, the booster organizations of this high school, whether they be the athletic, academic, or music boosters, also need your support. The strength of all these programs is dependent upon the strength of our booster organization. Please get involved. We'd also like to thank the City of London and the London City Board of Education who had belief and faith that a bunch of people could come together as volunteers and raise the kind of money it takes to build a complex of this magnitude. To my fellow members who have served on this Board of Trustees, as Secretary, I thank you for keeping an open mind to all those hundreds of ideas that we've had over these years. I thank you for your commitment and your dedication to see that we spent the funds wisely and we built this project the way it was supposed to be. Finally, to all those who have touched this project in whatever way and have helped make this dream come true, thanks so very much for what you've done for London High School, the young people of this school district, and this community. Gary?
Probably the best way that we can show our appreciation for everyone who has touched this project is, one, is for our young men and women to use this facility, through their attitudes, through their efforts here in this facility. The way they work, the way they conduct themselves will be more than enough to say thank you. For those of us that aren't players, the best way that we can show our appreciation for all these people, for all the work they've done, is to take care of the facility. That means tonight when you leave, find one of the red barrels. Put something in it. Help us keep this facility first class. Don't rely on somebody else to do that. Once again, on behalf of everyone involved, I want to thank everybody for coming tonight, for all of our honorees and contributors for coming out here tonight. And now it's time for us to introduce the person for whom this field is made. The people that are here can stay right here. Players are making a tunnel. I see Dana Topper slipped on the end. Dana, wave your hand. London Music Boosters. Dana Topper. The gentleman that we are getting ready to honor tonight was the London High School head football coach from 1947 through 1973, 27 years. He had a record of 161 wins, 66 losses, 6 ties, better than a 70% winning percentage. He had undefeated teams in 1951 and 1966. His 1951 undefeated team was voted the #1 Class B team in the state of Ohio by the UPI and the AP. The London Red Raiders under Coach Bolus won or shared 8 mid-6 or mid-8 league championships. While at London High School, he also coached baseball, basketball, and golf. He was also athletic director for 6 years. For 10 years, he was the director of the Ohio High School Football Coaches Association and was the president-elect in 1974. In 1978, in his first year of eligibility, he was also inducted into the Ohio High School Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame. In 1992, he was inducted into the London High School Athletic Hall of Fame. He is also the winner of a Distinguished Alumnus Award in 1974 from the Ohio State University. And now the next message that I wish to read is a message from the players of Coach Bolus. Coach, this is what the players have asked me to say to you. Coach, over 250 of us responded to the invitation to attend tonight's ceremony. Many of us, try as we might, could not make it for this special occasion, but we did want our thoughts related to you tonight to be shared. I realize how important it was to play football for Coach Bolus. It's not necessarily the memories of playing the game, but the fundamentals about life that you learn. Thank you for being a great part of my life. The success I had was based on my experiences playing for someone like you. You pounded in us the importance of working hard and dedicating yourself to the final goal, which was winning. Coach, you were my high school teacher, Sunday school teacher, and coach for the 1 year I was able to be on the team. You helped make us all better, responsible citizens. You were kind enough to let me stay on the team all year, but wise enough to not put me in a tough game to screw things up. I have always been proud to say I was on the football team of London High School. Coach, those of us who formed the tunnel and will stand behind you in a few minutes, your assistant coaches, team doctors, managers, and players have come from California, Indiana, Kentucky, Michigan, Illinois, Florida, Texas, Minnesota, Virginia, Arizona, Colorado, and all over the state of Ohio to be with you tonight. We were hoping also Mrs. Bolus would bring some of her cookies. There's at least one member from all of your teams here, including your first team as assistant coach, to Bill Hackett. Standing here, we can't help remembering how great it was to play for you, how you made us feel during your motivational pregame talks. There was no wall that we felt we could not run through. At halftime, if we were behind, Your positive attitude and direction always gave us inspiration and determination. Also very fresh in our minds are the halftime tongue lashings you could give when we were not playing to our potential, even if we were 3 touchdowns ahead. We can still see today the white stuff form in the corners of your mouth. Winning for you was always great, but maybe more important was the compassion you gave when we did not win. Especially those times when we left everything we had on the playing field. You are our coach, but most important, you were our teacher. You showed us how to win and be successful through hard work, dedication, and perseverance. Along with our fathers, you taught us how to be a man. And in some cases, you were the father that we did not have. There is no way we can express to you or anyone else what you mean to us. It's kind of like when Louis Armstrong was asked what jazz meant to him. He replied, "Man, if you can't feel it, then I can't tell you about it." We are here to pay tribute to you, to thank you, and more importantly, to say, we love you. I would like to introduce now Coach Jim Bolus, his wife Mildred, and his son Jeff.
Basically, we want to thank the players, the managers, their parents, the wonderful fans on the ag. Every year was a wonderful year as far as wins and losses. People running their business. None of us would be here tonight if it wasn't for this J.J. Harper committee. They've done an unbelievable job as you see. The community will use this for years and years. It's great for the young people. I know Mr. Hartley worked with him for 26 years. He was a strong believer in counts, programs, studies, extracurricular activities. I know he's very proud here tonight. There isn't any better way for families, their children to get together and do extracurricular activities. No better way to help with racial relations and extracurricular activities. And all these facilities will be like that for years to come. As far as issues to allow the use of this field, I want to wish the coaches of both the home team and the visiting team and the players and those exciting games here and to gain their mutual respect and be good sportsmen and play. My hope is for the field that it will have the same influence on the young people that Jake Contento's field. Now Jake's field is still going to be in use from what I understand. Jake's going to take care of the beginning players and they'll get finished off here. So, I'm proud to be consistent with Jake in that respect. I guess the best way to get my true feelings, I may be so bold as to quote a bit of scripture. My cup runs over. Thank you.
Thank you for being here tonight to share this special moment with Coach Willis and his family. We appreciate all the former players, coaches, managers, and all of our contributors and honorees tonight. Thank you very much. In a short time, we will have the color guard, the national anthem, and it'll be time to kick off the first varsity football game here at Willis Field. Again, thank you.
I said Dave earlier. I know it's Doug. I know it's Doug. I kind of caught that. I think his name is
Jesse quarterback, Robin Martin Briggs.
Where's the flag at?
Lane 22.
It's like a quiet color guard. Okay.
78. Gorman. Castle. Castle. 69. 58 miles. Right here. 66 miles. Centers 50 minutes.
Softball.
Wide receiver
There too. So that's
wide receiver 10.
Ladies and gentlemen, as a London High School alumni, class of '95, it is my pleasure to introduce, for the first time, the London High School Alumni Marching Band. Please remain standing and join in the singing of our national anthem, the Star Spangled Banner, under direction of Mr. David Trent.
Remember that one time we were coming in, they did that? Yeah, I was pretty young with the see that was funny.